Hey everybody, just jumping on here real quick to let y'all know I'll still be posting videos to YouTube, but for the most part I'm gonna start doing things live stream through Facebook. Y'all can look me up, Daniel Gaines. I'm wearing a blue button down shirt and khaki pants, standing in front of a mirror. That's my profile picture. It's the image from whenever I was what I wore on the Dr. Oz show. I was in the Dr. Oz show dressing room when I took that picture. But y'all can find me. All my live streams are public, so we don't have to be friends. They can be viewed. You ain't gonna find shit else on my page but what I make public, but those are all public and they will stay that way. So will any other live streams I do. Y'all should check it out. One document that I keep getting accused of lying about, it keeps being claimed that the document doesn't exist, was actually showed on the most recent live stream I posted with the letter to the Attorney General of the state of Washington. And the thing that supposedly doesn't exist is the revision for the cease and desist, where it says I get to record and post the shit online to my heart's content. That's in that video. I show the entire document to prove that these folks have been not doing nothing but lying, trying to, again, make me look like the bad guy whenever I don't say shit I can't prove. Nothing. I can prove 100% of every one of my claims. And that cease and desist, where it was overturned in my favor, is actually on that video. I'm also going to be doing a Facebook Live in the next day or two where I'm going to be showing a little more things. I'll again probably show that court order where I get to record in the state, people in the state of Washington, even though that's a two-party consent state. But I'm also going to show, something that royally fucks the state of Washington. This is what I'm going to do. I'm going to tell y'all straight up. It royally fucks them and guarantees they have no avenue to reduce anything in court. If you look up the word temporary, the definition, the legal, that's key, legal definition of the word temporary, you will see it says for a short amount of time, not perpetual. It means after a short amount of time it goes away. This live stream I'll be doing in a couple days, I will show you the child support order that I finally got in 2020 that was filed in 2004. Yes, it was filed in 2004, and I never received it or seen it at all for the first fucking time until 2020. And it wasn't even the state of Washington that sent it to me. It was the state of Missouri. But I will show you how on the very first page of that child support order, it says it's a temporary order. That means 1 to 2 years at most. Why is it they're still trying to collect on a temporary order 17 fucking years later? Now, see, the child support enforcement in the state of Washington claims that the order self-renews in court. No, it's not a perpetual motion. It's a temporary order that was supposed to go back into court to be made permanent. She never took it back into court because it was all done fraudulently. And if she would have taken it back to court, she would have had to have served me. And she knows the outcome of that would have been not in her favor. So it never went back to court, never got made a permanent order. It's also not perpetual because I've combed every fucking letter of that order, every letter, and nowhere in there does it say it renews. Also, things don't auto-renew in law. That's a key fact. Fact. F-A-C-T. Fact. Things don't auto-renew. Things renew when they go back to court. Child support was never back in court. So I have a 17-year order that's temporary that they're still trying to extort money from me for. Now, let's really dive into this a little bit. You know what? I'm only going to give a brief overview. I'm not really going to dive into it on here. I'll do it on a Facebook Live whenever I actually show the document. But do me a favor, anybody who watches this. Look up what the RICO Act states. Look at the RICO Act. Look at how you violate it, what elements are required to violate it, and what it means to violate it. Basically, in short, to sum it up, the RICO Act, if an entity, person, anything like that takes federal dollars fraudulently, they're violating the RICO Act, which is a very serious criminal matter. Well, the state of Washington, along with all the other 49 states and all territories of the U.S., is part of what's called the Title 4D program through the federal government. That means for every penny, every dollar they collect in child support, they get so much money back from the federal government through the Title 4D program. Social Security Act, look it up, Title 4D under the Social Security Act. You'll see it's all legit. The states get federal funds for collecting child support. Now, when the courts issue a child support order, they submit what is essentially a voucher to the federal government stating that the support has been paid in full. And then the state's responsible for collecting, and they get their federal funds and everything else. Now, it's a violation of the RICO Act when they collect 18 years worth of payments from the federal government on a temporary child support order that is not permanent and not perpetual. It's also a violation of the RICO Act for them to have even taken child support from me in the first place, considering there was no due process afforded, there was no proof of service, no proof of residency, no proof of income, there was no reciprocal clause in the contract, there was no mutual agreement to the contract or anything else that's required for a child support contract to be valid. So if there's nothing that makes that order valid, and it's only a temporary order, why did the state of Washington collect 18 years worth of federal monies because of my temporary child support order? That right there violates the RICO Act. Oh yes, look it up, people. Google search the RICO Act. Use Google Scholar. Use Google Scholar to look up anything related to law. It's your best bet, it's your best friend. But look into the RICO Act and then look into child support. Child support is contract law, basic contract law. Contract law requires a few elements in order for a contract to be legal and valid and legal binding. One is mutual consent. There must be mutual consent for a contract to be legally valid, period. Child support is not mutual consent. Child support is forced through the threat of imprisonment, loss of license, and everything else. They even go as far as to threaten to keep your kid from you if you refuse to comply and sign on child support. So there's a lack of mutual consent, especially in my case, no consent at all. There also, for contract law, the contract to be legally binding, there has to be a reciprocal clause. That means I do something for you, you do something for me. Child support. For example, I give you child support. What do I get in return for you getting this money? Well, it should be I get to be a part of my child's life. But they'll tell you child support and custody are two very different matters. So they're forcing you into a contract illegally, without your consent, without a reciprocal clause. And the judges at the Title 4D court financially benefit directly from the Title 4D program. So therefore, they actually have a financial incentive to make you pay more, which is what happens. But I'll go a little further in my explaining RICO to you. Why is it that all states, without evidence, will sit there and reduce a father to a 1, maybe 2 week in a month visitor in their child's life? They're supposed to, this is parental rights are a liberty interest. It's supposed to be evidence and everything to restrict those rights. Why do they do it on hearsay alone? Well, they do it on hearsay alone because if one parent has less parenting time, they can charge higher amounts for child support. Whereas if it's 50-50, they have to charge nothing to a bare minimum in child support because you've got the kid 50% of the time. Federal guidelines for the Title 4D program state you can only touch 50% of the disposable income. So they illegally give fathers less parenting time so they can extort more in child support. And it's all done without cause and without proof and without evidence. And it's all done so the states can maximize federal funds. Remember what I said about RICO? State getting money, federal monies, through fraudulent or illegal means. RICO violations. So, I've been busy. I sent notice to the Attorney General of the state, which, let's be honest, it's going to get ignored again, like it did last time, and that's fine. It's all part of the game. I already know it's going to get ignored. Nothing's going to happen. Well, the Attorney General's not going to do anything because, like most, they're going to think it's all just blowing smoke. Problem for this clown is I have video proof of exactly what he was sent. Not the video that is on my live. A video that's not going to be made public until it's time. Just so that way when they try to claim they didn't get what I sent, I've got them on perjury there. But I can prove exactly what I sent them. And every claim I made, proof was sent. Y'all can go look it up. It's on my Facebook page. The letter, the legal codes that I cite, proof, everything's in those letters. Or in that letter and in the contents of it. But when nothing happens, on the 15th day, that's when my fun starts. We'll see how much they like this almost 500-page lawsuit. Because it names 7 judges, literally, commissioners or judges, they're essentially the same in the state of Washington. It names Juliette. It names her husband, Skip, Robert Parker. It names Robert's parents, his mother and father. It names Juliette's father. I'm leaving her mother out of it because her mother's in a diminished capacity due to a stroke. So I'm not going to name her mother and try to pull her mother into court because to me that just would almost be inhumane. However, her mother and father are a part of it and both are included in the lawsuit. It's just I'm not going to subpoena her mother to testify or anything else. Just her dad. But let's see. It's got her dad, Skip's parents, her, let's see, Melissa Roth, Cody Hyman is named in it, and then there's a few other names that I'm not going to get into just yet, but Juliette knows who these people are. There's also Juliette's 2 attorneys, Ephraim Benjamin, Stephen Downing. There's Elizabeth Bedford. There's Miles Russell. There's the attorney Juliette had in 2015. There's the attorney Juliette had in 2004. And oh yes, I'm going to remove the statute of limitations on all this. I assure you, it's already in the works. It's just waiting on things to get finalized in the courts. And then the statute of limitations will disappear on everything, so they all can't be held liable. Told y'all I'm smarter than them. But anyway, I'll keep going. So let's see. We've got Jarrell Sanders at DCYF. We've got Carolyn Merling. We've got Pilar Lopez. We've got Carolyn Merling's supervisor. We've got Kate Orlando. I mean, there's literally about 30 people named in my lawsuit. Members of the judiciary, people at the department, people at the Office of Assigned Counsel, the Attorney General of the state of Washington himself because he's ignored my letters with proof. Let's see, I also have in these documents, I'm suing the departments, DCYF, as an entity, a state contracted business, because that's what they are. And I'll get them to admit that on the stand. Watch. Again, I'm smarter than these idiots. So I'm suing DCYF because I have successfully removed their immunity because I sent them to case law to verify what they were doing was violations. They can't argue that they have immunity because I've already removed it. But then I also name them all individually. Jarrell Sanders, Kate Orlando, Carolyn Merling, Pilar Lopez, Miles Russell, Liz Bedford. All these people are named with their entity and individually in this lawsuit. And you're looking at, like I said, about 30 motherfuckers. 30 different people. It's actually going to be more than that because, like I said, the entities are named and then the individual parties are named. But there's 30 different people my lawsuit names. Yeah, it's like that. And there's, as of right now, 739 pages of proof. It's like that. No, I'm not exaggerating anything. They gonna learn. They gonna learn when they get served 1,000 fucking pages of documents in a lawsuit. They're gonna learn whenever they're all out of a job. They're going to learn when they go to fucking jail. And that includes Juliette and all of them. I don't give a fuck. I'm done caring about who I offend, whose fucking fragile little sissy ass feelings I hurt. I don't give a fuck. Y'all were warned. All I wanted to do was be a father to my daughter. Y'all didn't let me do that. Kept warning y'all. Just let me be a dad. That's it. Nope. Instead, because I have a dick, y'all want to play games. Okay. Well, because I have a dick, y'all wanted to play games, now I'm going to be a dick and we're going to play games. So, I pray y'all are ready. Because I'm coming and I'm bringing fucking hell with me. And all of you motherfuckers, all of you motherfuckers are going to be fucking hemmed up. Period. I'm coming for careers. I'm coming for jobs. I'm coming for livelihoods. I'm coming for your way of fucking life. Juliette, that means your daddy too. I'm sending proof once everything gets done in court and he gets nailed for perjury and falsifying court documents. I'm sending proof to the American Medical Association. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I'm going after his fucking medical license and all on this. Y'all were warned not to fucking play with me, not to keep lying to the courts, not to keep me from my kid. Y'all were warned. I told y'all it would be dealt with. Told y'all you wouldn't like the fucking end result. You're gonna learn that real soon. And Juliette, you can keep filing motions to dismiss your criminal case. It ain't gonna matter. You still ain't gonna be able to run from this because I've already got several different options of you getting served, and only one of which requires you actually getting the documents. And it's all legal. Ask your fucking bitch ass attorneys. They'll be able to tell you too. I have multiple options. As far as everybody else goes, they'll be served. I already know where they all live. I can tell you the permanent home address of the judges and commissioners. I can give you Miles Russell's home address. I can even tell you where these people's children live. All done legally. Not a threat. I'm not putting any of that information out there, and I'm not going to harm anybody except through the courts. But when they try to refuse service at work, let's just say I've already done my homework on how to make sure that everybody still gets served. So they'll get served at their house. I'm not even going to deal with them while they're at work. I'm going to do it in the evening or on a weekend while they're home with their family. Just so that way they can have a taste of the anxiety and stress they've made me deal with for 17 fucking years. They want to claim I don't have a right to be pissed off. Temporary child support order, 17 years later, y'all still collecting on. Temporary. First page, temporary. And y'all claim I don't have a reason to be pissed? Y'all been stealing my money. Y'all stole my fucking kid from me. Y'all have kept my property from me. Y'all have basically put me in hell and left me there to rot. What y'all didn't count on is the fact that I'd take that motherfucker over and I'd put it to work. Y'all shouldn't have given me 17 years to learn. You really shouldn't have. That was a fatal fucking flaw on your part. And when I say fatal, I don't mean in physical harm. I mean fatal for your careers, your bank account, and everything else. Because when I say I'm pushing and I'm going to force the courts to hold you guys accountable for violations of 18 USC 241, 18 USC 242, 18 USC 2511, those are all federal criminal codes that I can prove all of you fucks have violated. Every one of them comes with a jail sentence and or probation, fine. But seeing as I can show multiple counts and prove multiple counts, yeah, probation and a fine, not likely for any of y'all. Jail time, it's a real probability. And it'll go to the state Supreme Court and then probably the U.S. Supreme Court before I win. But I've got time. Worst case scenario, I die of stress-related heart attack before it's done. Then my family, they get to add wrongful death to that lawsuit and continue it. Even if the wrongful death part gets thrown out, they still get to continue it. Because let's be honest, their lives have been affected by your criminal conduct too, you motherfuckers. So they have legal standing to pick up if anything happens to me. Y'all don't get out of this. Not at all. In fact, the only way y'all get out of this is through the court process. Now, any of you motherfuckers, James, Meredith, Noel, this is specifically for you. You can try to come at me. You can try to claim you're going to countersue me. You can threaten me. You can serve me fucking court documents right now. I live in Barnhart, Missouri. The courts have my address. Serve me the documents. Take me to court for my threats against you. It's actually not a threat if you look up the word threat under the law, but take me to court because I said I'm going to cost you your fucking medical license, and I'm going to have you arrested for perjury, and I'm going to sue you for deprivation of rights. Take me to court for it, buddy. Please. I'd love for you to do that. I'd actually pay your filing fees if you were to try that. I would come out of my own pocket to pay your filing fees just so I can laugh at your bitch ass in court. You fucking wanna be... This guy is a retired colonel, James Meredith Noel. He's a retired colonel from the Army. He's an unethical criminal fuck. That's all he is at best. And I can prove that because somebody who's ethical doesn't falsify court documents. Somebody who's ethical doesn't submit falsified documents to the courts. Somebody who's ethical doesn't commit perjury. Criminals do all those things as well because, well, filing false documents to the courts, signing under penalty of perjury, knowing it to be false, and all that is actually criminal. So, this dude's an unethical criminal fuck. Come on, Jimmy boy. Bring your fat ass to take me to court. Please do. Please do. I fucking beg you. Any of you other parties involved? Again, I'll pay your filing fees. Please take me to court. I'm begging you. I'll pay your filing fees. Personally. Willingly pay the filing fees for you. Upwards of 10 grand. If your filing fees go over 10 grand, anything over the 10 grand mark, you pay yourself. But up to 10 grand out of my own pocket per case, I will pay in filing fees for you. Just to get y'all to try and bring an action against me for what I'm saying I'm gonna do to y'all. Say I'm making threats against your physical person, please do. I have video proof. I'm threatening to take y'all asses to court. Should y'all be subjected to physical punishment? It's not my place to say. Personally, I would say no. Only because I'm not as sick and twisted and cruel as you sick fucks are. So I would say no. Let's just deal with it through courts. Y'all can pay me. And then I'll sit there and smile while I'm living a nice lifestyle on y'all's money. Jimmy boy, that 7-8 figure salary you make a year, yeah, you're gonna pay for my lifestyle here soon, bud. Watch. Because I'll be honest, I'll let the suit for the state go for $1 in damages, provided there's reform, immediate reform, that I get to be a part of setting up. I also want what I'm owed, as far as like child support and shit like that goes. But, and then like the emotional, physical, mental, emotional distress that I want. But as far as physical, actual punitive damages, I'll let that be $1 for reform. However, Juliette, James, Skip, your folks, Juliette's folks, Cody, all of you, it won't be let go. There's nothing you can do or say or even offer that'll cause me to drop this. This will go through in court and y'all will lose. I promise you. Y'all don't have a leg to stand on, and I've got all the fucking documents I need to prove my case. It's not what you know, it's what you can prove in court. I don't make claims I can't prove. Jimmy boy, you should be fucking well aware of this. You know damn well the shit that's going on between Juliette and me, that you've even said she shouldn't be allowed to have fucking faith with her years ago. Oh yeah, you think I don't remember that? You think I don't recall that day you came to pick me up and take me to the airport in San Antonio because your daughter was planning on leaving me bailed stranded in the state? What, you think I don't remember that shit? I'll say it like this. I ain't forgot a single fucking detail. Not one. Not ever. And again, I can prove it. For example, give you a little taste, Jimmy boy, you little fat ass bitch. Here's a little example for you. That document 2015 you submitted to the courts, claiming I have a criminal record in a bunch of states. Only states I've ever been a resident in, Illinois and Missouri. I don't have a record in either state. I was stationed in Washington, but not a legal resident. Don't have a criminal record up there. Never been a resident of the state of Texas. Oh no, I'm sorry. Louisiana I was also a resident of. And the only thing I ever got in trouble for down there was a speeding ticket. And that's because me and Juliette were driving back from your house one night and Faith started crying in the back seat. I was trying to get over a bridge so we could pull over and get her fed because it was in the middle of the night and she woke up and was hungry. It's the only trouble I got in Louisiana. That was a speeding ticket. And it was for doing 10 mile an hour over the speed limit because I didn't know that in the state of Louisiana, at that time, I don't know if it's changed since, but at that time, speed limits on bridges were 10 mile an hour less than the posted speed limits. It's not posted, not anywhere. So I was unaware. And I wasn't speeding, I was actually doing the speed limit, just didn't know that unposted it drops on a bridge. And again, was trying to pull over so we could get Faith fed. She was only a couple weeks old at that point. I even went off on a cop for shining a light in my daughter's face. But that's all I got. Y'all have a good night. I love you. Peace.